ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಈ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಒಂದು ಕಿರು ಪರಿಚಯ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ಟು ನಮ್ಮ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ I'll speak in English for the introduction, primarily because this is reaching out to a lot of audience outside of Karnataka too. So uh, culture is the soul of civilization. We call India as the only surviving ancient civilization because our culture, tradition and customs have been active for millennia. It is still in practice. When so many other ancient civilizations are no longer in existence, how did our culture, our civilization survive? It's basically because our civilization has been nourished and sustained by art. If today every adult and child is aware of our ancient Puranas like Ramayana and Mahabharata, it's not because they have all read them. It is because they have been performed in various forms, in classical art, in folk art. They have been carved in magnificent temples as sculptures and murals. The stories of Ramayana and Mahabharata exist in almost every temple murals. And we have all heard these Puranas being sung, and our grandmothers and mothers and grandparents have told us stories of these Puranas. So it exists in many forms, and it has survived. There is a strong link between art, culture, and civilization. If the civilization has to survive, culture has to survive, and for culture to survive, traditional art has to survive. Like forms like storytelling, like what our Neil Garas performed. All these are performance arts which have been surviving for hundreds of years. The idea behind Meru Foundation for Indic Arts is, being artists and communication professionals ourselves, we felt the need for a very strong institution to nurture and support traditional Indic arts, some of which are on the verge of extinction. So instead of creating pride in our cultural heritage, fortunately or unfortunately, we have seen systematic efforts over the decades to obliterate that and replace it with history and culture of invaders. While art and culture having Indic roots have strong influence in Southeast Asian countries, where they take pride in performing Ramkir or Ramayana through their Apsara dance or these kind of forms. In India, somehow people feel ashamed of owning up the roots and saying that this art belongs to us and we own it and we create new content in it and we develop it. So we felt that unless there is a concrete effort to reclaim our roots, we may end up losing our heritage. Proliferation of various new media forms have led to the gradual decline of traditional art forms. There has been a decline in interest in the youth for older performing arts like Yakshagana or Bhutat Kola, and these kind of forms are kind of declining. While most art had patronage from kings and princely states and rich zamindars and patrons of arts were funding, it is not so in these days. So we are trying to create, a system where craftsmen and traditional artists will continue to thrive instead of having to give up their traditional familial art-related activities which used to sustain them earlier but which no longer sustains them. So they are choosing various other careers or moving to the urban areas and becoming homeless, and they are facing a lot of problems. So what we wanted to do is we want to take a concrete step to further prevent further erosion of all these art forms and begin new content creation. To quote Arnold Toynbee, schism in the soul, schism in the body social, will not be resolved by any scheme to return to the good old days, which is archaism, or by programs guaranteed to render an ideal projected future, which is futurism, or even by the most realistic hard-headed work to weld together again the deteriorating elements of civilization. Only birth can conquer death, the birth not of the old thing again, but of something new. So for a few years now, a group of similar-minded theater artists have been thinking and discussing various indie art projects that involve traditional, cultural and historical aspects of India. During our discussions, we recognized the need for research and documentation to get correct facts and records, honing required skills for everyone involved in order to have authentic projects, pay the artists, and create a support system for artists who are dependent on art for a livelihood. So we kind of realized that we would not be able to achieve this humongous work without having a proper, strong institutional kind of support. So that led to the formation of Meru Foundation for Indic Arts. It is focused on the dual objectives of reclaiming our culture and traditions and to support the sustenance and spread of Indic art. So basically we are a team of people who have been involved in art and communication for a very long time, and we felt that we would be able to create an organization, an institution, leveraging on our experience over the last few years, a couple of decades actually, for each of us. So the foundation is committing itself to strive and create awareness about our rich Indian wisdom in various fields through medium of literature, fine arts and performing arts. So Meru would achieve these goals through promotional support. Basically, we would support events which are creating performances and festivals and exhibitions and seminars based on Indic art forms or Indic literature or culture and heritage. Instituting awards for excellence in arts in various categories at various levels. Indic arts research, we want to support critical investigation and promote research papers through grants and fellowships. Indic arts education, so we want to do short-term and long-term courses, diplomas, awareness programs, and school and public competitions. Basically, we would want to throw these opportunities open for everyone who are interested in learning more about Indic arts and culture. Then we would like to create new content by encouraging literature and publications. Primarily, we want to conduct programs for writing, through which we will encourage people to write, to undergo a training program and then create fiction, non-fiction, drama, poetry, whichever is their preferred medium. Then films, basically documentaries and short films and social media videos to communicate a lot more in a shorter time. And training and development, basically lecture and demo classes by master artisans, workshops and seminars we want to do. And create a repository of information for digital and physical information base, knowledge base for Indic cultures, art forms, literature and Indian history. Then making available information, enabling further research and spreading of information. Creating a directory of artisans and institutions supporting artists. We would also like to create a corpus fund for supporting artists who are in dire need in cases of emergency, This is something that we realized recently from 2020 during the lockdown. We encountered a huge number of artists who suffered greatly because of the lockdowns. The lockdowns mandated that there were no shows happening, which meant there was no livelihood for people who were dependent on art. So we want to create a corpus fund for supporting artists in dire need in cases of emergencies, and to provide stipend for students who will join our classes, so that we will give them not just a training, but we will also give them a stipend which will encourage them to actually put in a lot more serious effort into pursuing their preferred art form as a livelihood. So the first year program, we have envisaged two flagship programs. One is the workshop for writers, primarily a batch of 60 students from literature departments across various colleges in Bangalore will be inducted for a 6 months writers training program. So they will be writing stories, novels, plays, any form of writing that interests them. It could even be a journal entry or a blog. This program is going to continue. This is a long-term project that we have, but for the first year, we are going to have, first batch, we are going to have 60 students identified, and subsequently, we are going to expand it across the state, and then we will also try to have as many hybrid courses as possible. So each student is going to be given a stipend of 2,000 rupees every month for the duration of the program, which is for 6 months. And so each batch will cost us approximately 15 lakh rupees for each of these batches that we are going to conduct. Then the second flagship program that we have for the first year is documentation of important traditional art forms which are GI tagged, documentation of this. So Karnataka has about 31 GI tagged commodities and art forms. These are very important, and they are culturally and socially very significant art forms. So it could be Gigi Pada or Manteswami or Sri Krishna Parijata or Bhutad Kola, or even traditional sports like Kambala, which has faced a lot of attacks over the period of last few years. So the study materials for these art forms are almost non-existent, except for a few articles which are written by interested journalists. We don't actually see thorough documentation of these art forms. So what we would like to do is to create a batch of documentary makers. We want to hire them professionally and send them out to these places where these traditional art forms are practiced in the communities. And these people are going to live there for the time being of the creation of the documentaries. And each of these documentaries are going to be of world class, like how we normally set the standard for documentaries to be like National Geographic or Discovery. We would want to attain that kind of quality with these documentaries and make it available across the globe. So that is the intent. So there are a lot of other very highly location-specific art forms which are very important and critical, but which has no documentation. So we would like to make that documentation available, create those documentation and make it available for people. And we would also try to put a pressure on the respective authorities to actually GI tag them so that they get the required popularity and exposure. So for all these things, we require a lot of support, and we would like to collaborate with as many people accomplished in all these activities. There are a lot of people sitting here who have been involved in a whole lot of things that we have been envisaging, and we would like to seek their support, and we would want them to be involved with us. And we will send out, obviously, we will send out the request to them for each of these programs and ask them to get involved. But there are many ways in which you can involve yourselves. Uh, it is not just funding that we seek, it is also active participation in terms of sharing your experiences of working with various segments of people, and people who are very good at marketing can help us in seeking funds, and people who are very good at creating content can help us deliver the programs that we have designed. And we have filmmakers among us, we have actors, we have directors, we have dancers and musicians, and it's actually overwhelming to see the kind of support that we have got at such a short notice. And we are immensely thankful to everyone who has come and extended their support to us. So I would like to just give a short introduction of our team, and all the details of our trustees and their contact points, everything is available on our website, and we are all available for you to share your ideas with us and collaborate with us. So I would like to call Ram Manjunath. Please. He's our Vice President. He has been an information security professional, and he's also a filmmaker and theater practitioner for a very long time. I'd like to call Krishna Hebbale, who is the secretary. He is one of the most recognized faces in Kannada film industry these days. He has more than 3 decades of experience in theatre. He's been involved with in forming at least 3 theatre groups which are still working and doing great work. I'd like to call Dr. Rajashri. She's our Joint Secretary. She is an entrepreneur. She has been recognized by NSR cell of IIMB for women entrepreneurship, and she runs she is the founder of You and Me Theatre, and she's been a dancer for about 3 decades, 3.5 decades now, 3.5 decades. I'd like to call Abhishek Iyengar, treasurer. Abhishek Iyengar is a well-known theatre practitioner. He is also a playwright. His book was released just a couple of weeks ago by some of the people who are present here actually, and it's our privilege to have him as part of our team. Rohit Chakratirtha. Rohit is a writer, thinker, columnist, and he is driving one of the efforts of our Karnataka government on the textbook committee. He is reviewing the older textbooks, and he is part of the committee. Vrishanka Bhatt. Vrishanka Bhatt is a journalist. He is the editor of Samvada and also Vikrama magazine. Sharat Parvatavani. Sharat is a screenwriter, playwright, and theatre practitioner. He is also the co-founder of You and Me Theatre, and they have a rehearsal space and a performance space called Vyoma Art Space. Vinay Chandra. Vinay Chandra is a theatre practitioner for a couple of decades, and he is also now a farmer who is attempting organic farming in his new farm. So these are our trustees, and I am Achyuta. All our contacts are available on our website, and also you can call any of us on the numbers which are available on the brochure. We would love to have you participate with us and collaborate and help us move this organization forward. And I'm immensely thankful to everyone who has come here and graced this occasion. Rajshri will take it to the next.